You are now listening to FNB Radio.
And welcome to FNB Radio. My name is Lindsay Collins and I am your host. I've been podcasting my absolute ass off. Jeremy always says this really funny thing where he'll be like, this person was, instead of ass off, he'll say your back out. Like this person was eating their back out. And it really makes me laugh. I don't know. We're like, I guess you're like going so hard that you throw your back out. I'm like struggling to remember why he said, oh no, I do remember. We were looking out, we were doing our workouts. We work out together in the morning. If you follow my personal Instagram account, you know that I work out every single morning. I do Pilates and I film a little excerpt and put it on my OnlyFans that's unmonetized for some reason. And it's basically just me doing workouts to remind people that like you can do it. Not work out, but you can do whatever it is that you set out to do every single day. You can do it. Mine just happens to be Pilates. But anyway, we work out together in real life, but he's like, you cannot film me doing Pilates. Like, I don't want to be on your Instagram like that. So I have to then film a little clip later of my like favorite move of the day. Anyway, it's this whole process, but we were working out together during the real workout. And then all of a sudden we looked out the window and there was an Ibis, which I didn't know at the time was an Ibis. I would have said egret. Maybe you would have said crane. We would have both been wrong. It was an Ibis. And I only know that because my son went and got his bird watching book that he checked out from the library because he's so cute. And he looked it up and was accurately identified this bird as an ibis. But the ibis was like walking around the front yard. And it's just kind of weird to see. They're a pretty big, long, leggy bird that's white with a long bill. And it was sort of like digging around in the front yard, not actively, but eventually it did get something. And we were like, what is it doing? And it just was slinging something around. It ended up being a small snake. And then we look to the left and there's one little neighborhood cat fully crawling on the ground, stalking. I was like, what is this Nat Geo moment we're having where I see a bird stalking a snake who's probably eating a frog while a cat stalks that? Like, is there a coyote that's going to jump out? Like, what is happening? But he started, I was like, the bird was hanging around for so long despite like a car driving by or this cat stalking it. And he was just like really getting into eating this snake. And I was like, what is it doing? Like I'm on the floor doing Pilates and asking Jeremy like to tell me what's going on. He's standing up in the window. The kids are in their bedroom in the window, like shouting through the door, like, it's got something. And Jeremy, I think this is when he dropped its back out. He was like, it's just eating its back out. It's just... You have to know Jeremy didn't know why that's so funny. Just also like how he'll casually drop turns of phrase like that. But anyway, it made me laugh. Oof, it got me. So I've been thinking about that ever since. I'm like, people should really sub out their casual, ass off, face off, whatever you might usually use for the old classic redneck. I guess it's redneck. I don't know. It's from our town where we grew up. People used to say that. I'd be like, damn. I'm about to eat my back out. And you're like, what? It's not, I'm not selling it, but when it does fit, it really fits. It just really fits. But I've been podcasting my back out. I podcasted for an hour this morning in front of a live audience with the amazing women of Smith Spencer. They have a podcast that I produce called Between Two Brokers. And they were so kind. It was such an honor. Honestly, they invited me to be a guest on their podcast, which always catches me by surprise because I'm so dedicated to being behind the scenes on their show. And I've been producing their show for 3+ years. So I'm just a big fan of what they do. If you haven't checked out their podcast, you really should. Even if you think you're not interested in real estate, they make it absolutely riveting. They're just funny and cool and very candid about the process and also have a lot of insight into what's going on in the market. So yeah, check it out. But we did a show at their offices today at the Cigar Factory. And I was so happy to see those of you that came. It was really cool. Every time you do anything, or I do anything live, I'm like, is anyone going to come to this? And that's like kind of a selfish fear, but I'm always just like, it's 10 o'clock on a Thursday. Like, is anyone going to, even if no one came, I would be like, I get it. You're probably at your job. I don't know. Or taking care of something that happens at 10 a.m., on a good day when I'm at home, I have shit to do at 10 a.m. So everyone that was there, you know who you are. Thank you so much. Seeing your faces, laughing, crying, smiling, frowning, any expression at all, made me so happy. So thank you for supporting me and what I do and just listening to me talk about how I got into podcasting and what I do for a living and how it relates to the incredible Between Two Brokers, which is, like I said, one of my favorite shows. So yeah, thank you for coming to that. But in long story short, I have been talking for the whole day, and I'm trying to, muster up the will to podcast, but I'm doing it right now because it's Thursday night and I said I would, and I'm here and I just got my weekly order of Jackrabbit Filly, this is not a sponsored post, but on Thursdays, I order Jackrabbit Filly online and then get takeout. And I've already had that. So I'm like, oh, this like sleep is imminent. Is that there? Imminent? Yeah, imminent. Eminence front. I have to put on. Who knows that Who song? That song is a fucking banger. If you've never heard the song Eminence Front by The Who, yes, you have. You just maybe don't know the title and the artist, but that's who it is. You should go put it on right now and you'll be like, wow. Now there's a song. But yeah, sleep is imminent. So I'm gonna keep this kind of, I always say this, but I'm gonna keep this kind of brief. There is a party that's happening at my house July 22nd. And I'm just telling you now because I know that people just flee Charleston in the summer if they can. And I don't blame you. It gets hot, especially in July. But we're going to have a pool party. It's called Skewers. It's an art party. And it's essentially, if you've been listening to this show for a long time, you know that back in the fall, we were going to have an art show at our house. And it had to get rescheduled because some shit was just going down in my life at that time, and it just couldn't happen. But it's rescheduled. It's kind of rescheduled in a new way. So there's some things that will be different and some things that will be the same, but essentially the party shall happen. And I was really excited about the party in the fall. It was going to be a collection of a few of our friends and artists that we were just really excited about. And also Jeremy's going to show work and just cook snacks and hang out. And it felt like a good time to do it, like a fun summertime, like let's kick it off with a pool party in the dead heat of the summer. So yeah, mark your calendars. It's going to be July 22nd. I think I know that's a Saturday. And I don't know. I haven't narrowed in on the time. Let's just say 6 to 9. Let's say 69. 6 to 9. It's 6 to 9. And, when a party says like 6 to 9, it means like at 9, you should be gone. Just so you know. I'm going to say that now, but I'll remind you as it gets closer. But it'll be here, and it's going to be, so far, the artists that we have confirmed are truly amazing. I'm going to release the whole lineup once we finalize everything. We're still waiting to hear back from a few artists, but the ones that are like officially in right now, you might have heard of them. Isabel Bornstein. Shout out to my girly. Not only is she like the most wonderful, sweet, darling friend in the whole world, but she's an incredible artist. She mostly works in collage. If you've ever seen her vintage collages, they're absolutely insane. I have, 3 of them. They're beautiful. You can check her out at Born a Collage on Instagram, but she's also been painting recently and kind of exploring new work. And so I don't know exactly which pieces she's going to show, but she's definitely going to put pieces in this show at our house, and we're going to take everything down, like all of the art, everything hanging on the walls. We're going to give the house a refresh, put up some lighting in places that are dark so that you can see everyone's work very vividly and beautifully, and then just open the whole house. And you'll be able to walk through, see the art. The art will be for purchase, so definitely let anyone know that might be interested in, getting some amazing art from some incredible artists. Also on the ticket, Jeremy Croft. You know him, you love him, my one and only sweetie. He is going to be showing new pieces, and I'm really excited about it because, I don't know, summertime is always a very nostalgic time for me because it just is like the closest I can get to feeling like a kid who's got a break somehow, even though adults just work all through the summer, so it's not really that great. But, we'll take what we can get. And the work he's working on is really fun and different. Every time he does a series, it's really different. And this one is no exception. Who else is on the ticket? Nathan McClements is on the ticket. I can't wait to see what he's working on. He's been in the studio just working away all the livelong day. And Chloe Hogan is putting in work. I am so excited about this. If you haven't checked out Chloe Hogan's art, I'm going to link them all in the show notes, but her art is seriously fucking fire, as the kids say. Gas, as the kids say. Do they say that? Maybe Chloe can tell me. She's young and hip and cool, but yeah, her artwork is amazing. She's putting work in the show. Paul Christina is putting work in the show. And if you don't know Paul Christina, you're in for a fucking treat. His artwork is absolutely amazing. It's completely on another level, and I'm a huge fan. And when I reached out to him and was like, will you submit some work for the show? I just thought he would immediately be like, no. But it was the opposite. He was immediately like, yes. And I'm so excited to have his paintings or whatever kind of pieces. I haven't actually seen the artwork yet. We're going to be getting the artwork early in July, and then we'll start hanging it and getting ready for the show. But if you haven't checked out his work, you need to check him out on Instagram. It's Paul Christina, and it's Christina like Christina, Christina, like the cool Italian way, not like Christ, but like Christina. Paul's the man. Paul is the absolute man. He's an old friend of Jeremy's. They used to share a studio way back in the day at the old Tua Lingua on Dorchester. And I'm like over the moon that he's going to be, putting some work in the house. So it's going to be really fun. That's just the artists that are confirmed. There's more that I'm waiting to hear from, whether or not they can make the dates work. But the point is, even if that was just the only 5, I don't know how many names I just named, 5 artists that are in the show, it's going to be a banger, and it's going to be so fun. And honestly, it's just a good time. There's no tickets. It's free. Show up, check out the art, buy some art, tell your friends who like art. And, I'm going to make snacks. I have no idea how many people will come to this. It's not ticketed, so anyone can show up. So I have no idea how much food to make, but I'm going to make as much food as I can. And then I'm just going to, when it's gone, that's it. So come on the early side, save the date, July 22nd, more details to come. There's some still, this is very early days, but we just wanted to go ahead and put it out there so that you can make sure you're in town, because it's going to be so fun. And I'm so excited. I've been wanting to do something like this at our house for a really long time, and it's finally happening. So thank you for bearing with me. Bearing with me? Yeah, that's right. Thanks for... I've podcasted too much today. I can't even feel words in my mouth anymore. But yeah, it's going to be a rip-roaring good time. It's just a pool party. I don't really have a pool, but there's going to be a baby pool full of ice and drinks and beer. And so that's how I'm just billing it as a pool party. The show is called Skewers with a Z. And it's just kind of a nod to the way I like to eat in the summertime. Pretty much meat on a stick by a pool. Something sharp, something edgy, something with a little bit of a char to it. Smoky, sweet, sticky. But yeah, come to Skewers. That's the name of the show. It's Skewers. It's called Skewers, an art party. And I really, truly, honestly, the sleep is setting in as I'm talking to you. I'm like, I can barely hold my sweet little eyes open anymore. But tonight is Friday, right? If you're listening to this show in real time. And then tomorrow is Rip City. I think there's still some tickets available. It's the kickoff to Spoleto. And, if that doesn't mean anything to you, that's okay. But if it does, that means that there's a lot going on in the city. So if you want to grab a ticket to Rip City while you still can, I would go on their website. Otherwise, you can try to get a seat at the door. But there's like a shortage of chairs. I don't know what's happening. Spoleto ate up all the chairs. So there's there's a chair shortage. It's like an egg shortage, but for chairs. So I recommend getting a ticket now. You can go online to numberheadcomedy.com and grab your tickets so that you don't have to worry whether or not there's going to be a chair for you. It's at Silver Hill Studios, which I've told you before is my favorite place to do Rip City for a number of reasons. And I cannot wait to see what people come up with and see all of you and have some silly laughs together. The last time we did Rip City was on a boat. So I'll be happy that this is on dry land because I get a little seasick. I get a little queasy. I get a little green, like a cartoon. So this will be on dry land for me, a landlubber. But I'll see you hopefully at Rip City. Save the date for Skewers, an art party, July 22nd, 6 to 9. And I do mean 9. So don't try to show up at 9:30 asking me if I have any shrimp cocktail or like a small chili dog, because I won't. But if you come between 6 and 9, I will. I might. Anyway, I love you all. Thank you so much for listening. Thank you for coming to the live podcast today. If you showed up, it really means a lot. I can't thank you enough. And thanks to Jackrabbit Filly for that banger of a fried rice. That Singapore fried rice that they make with the caramelized pineapple, the saffron aioli, the cilantro, the charred shrimp. Oh my God, that fried rice. It's the thing that dreams are made of. And the rest of that takeout container's calling my name. I love you all. I'll see you soon. Thanks. Bye. I can't even say thanks. I can't even say anything. It's just, it's time to power down. See you next time. Bye.
Je rêve que j'ai